Mao lost control of the Cultural Revolution. It became a war of all against all. Deng Xiaoping was among those attacked. Mao stripped him of his power, then brought him back to repair a shattered society. Like those in power who had experienced Mao's mass democracy, Deng Xiaoping's greatest fear would be Dongluan, turmoil, chaos, upheaval. When the students of 1989 took to the streets, they too were branded as stirring up Dongluan. Many leaders in the government saw them in the light of the past. They were a throwback to the horrors of the Cultural Revolution that had nearly destroyed China.
At the end of the Cultural Revolution, the Chinese economy was on the verge of bankruptcy. What could be done? Now here's where Deng Xiaoping was really smart. His prescription was capitalism. Reform and opening up actually meant learning from capitalism. But he couldn't say that outright, because capitalism was supposed to be our arch enemy. Now how could you turn around and learn from our enemy? So Deng came up with something called socialism with Chinese characteristics.
He followed his instincts. First and foremost, the people didn't have enough to eat. They had to be fed. Secondly, the people who had been politically wronged had to be exonerated. These were very practical things. Little did he know what tremendous changes would be triggered once this process began.
It was deep winter, 1979, when a thaw began to be felt. A stretch of bare wall near the city center became a place where people posted their hopes and fears about the new China. There were a dozen unofficial journals and new voices heard. A young man named Wei Jingsheng wrote a poster. What China needed was more than the 4 modernizations the government was promoting in agriculture, industry, science, and defense. China needed a 5th modernization, democracy. Democracy wasn't the result of progress, Wei Jingsheng argued. It was a precondition for progress. Meanwhile, Deng Xiaoping was on the road. Apparently moving away from communist ideology, Deng was welcomed in America. Time magazine named him Man of the Year. In the U.S., China's economic reforms were greeted with enthusiasm.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and His Excellency Deng Xiaoping, the Vice Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China.
Rocky Mountain High. Mr. Vice Premier, it is with great joy that we welcome you to our country, and it is with true love that we extend our very best wishes to you and your people on your new long march toward modernization in this century. I thank you very much. Hui To Chen. Thank you.
Deng Xiaoping went to America, and soon after, hope came to China.
Hey, we're off on the road to China with fun and adventure in mind. The 7th wonder of the world is here beneath our feet. Compared to this, the road to Mandalay is obsolete.
Hey, this is it, Peking, China. Amazing, isn't it? Just 10 years ago, who would have dreamt an American comedian would be standing here in Tiananmen Square saying whatever he pleased and photographing anything he pleased. But in this fast-moving world, radical changes can occur overnight. Take a look at this square. Almost 100 acres. Looks like Jackie Gleason's patio. Now they can get 1.5 million people in here. Of course, they're not here today. Nobody knew I was coming.
Americans felt an enormous relief. The Chinese are, after all, just like us. They want what we want, and maybe we can sell it to them. But even as China and the U.S. swap celebrities